Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, and maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
To throw on 3rd down. Kruger. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They go play action here on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Kruger. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Off the play fake. Miles. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing again. Miles. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards the pickup there. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Off play action. Miles. Caught on the right side by Jones.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Christian Harris. And the Steelers are going to take over here up near the 40.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Looking to throw on second down. Kruger got an open man. It's Pickens. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. An inside give. Brown. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
The Steelers at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Throwing on first down. Kruger. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Kruger. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this is good. From 57 yards out. This bombs away right there. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. But all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, and you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed what's said there.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it is backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. All told, they get 13 yards on that play. Back to throw. Miles. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Now a handoff running through the middle. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 52 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And able to work his way down to the 16. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back. And it'll be 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Miles. Throwing the out route, and Crowder makes the catch. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Monarchs are back within a score. The extra point up and good. And this is back to a 5-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Kruger. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. A
13-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On first down, Kruger. And he completes it to Hunt. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll look to throw again.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
From 21 yards away. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st and 10, Miles. He finds his man, complete. It's Flynn. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Man open, here is Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back to throw again. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Monarchs are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
And now it's blocked. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, I think there was a lot of surprise from the kicking team there. After the block, they kind of froze and then realized, oh, wait, they can return this, and they returned it all the way.
And you know why they froze? Not often do you get that second sound, right? There's the kick, you hear that, and then there's that second thud when there's a block. That's when people freeze and they have to realize where the ball is. They picked it up and took it the other way.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Try to lay one up deep. And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
Derek Stingley picks it. And the Steelers will take over possession here up at the 44.
Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Huge article in their local paper this morning saying how the 4 interceptions last week led them to that victory. Here they haven't been able to come up with one, and they're losing. Probably not a coincidence.
I don't think so at all. I think you're spot on, but maybe they put a little extra pressure on themselves because the 4 interceptions last week, victory. Right now, no interceptions in this game. Had a chance for one, missed it, and they're losing. Probably feeling the pressure right now. Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
They'll try and throw for it here.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Kruger. toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defense.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball...
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in.
And the Monarchs have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front.
Extra point safely through, and they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. To throw on second down. Kruger, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Throwing on 1st down. Miles. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Derek Stingley picks it. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting him in jeopardy right now.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Kruger finding Pickens for another catch. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. This is Brown going up the middle. And this is going to be a Steelers 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. There he goes left side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
That's one thing to get the interception. It was a great play, but then you saw how quickly all of his teammates, Charles, turned to find blocks, made sure they had space for him to make the house call.
And not only did they turn and find the blocks, none of them clipped them behind, got someone in the back. This play is going to stand. And how about what we see each and every week now? When the defenders make a big play, there's always a group celebration after the takeaway.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They will look to flush the memory of that pick 6 as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the 4th quarter, getting down to the good stuff. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Right back to him on 1st down. Room here to run. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there.
With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Monarchs strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Right back to Brown. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. 71 yards.
And the Steelers Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And partner, we got a tie game here in the fourth. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Off the play fake, Miles. Flush to his right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Miles. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he stopped immediately there.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Looking to throw. Miles. Going to throw right side here. Complete. So 5 yards here. 5 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Miles. And that will be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback, because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
On 4th down, Miles. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So now I need an explanation for that one, Charles. You're tied, 4th quarter, deep in your own territory. What was going on in their mind?
I can't even begin to imagine. I understand being aggressive. You know, how many times have you looked at me and said, are you crazy? Why would you say go for it there? I wouldn't in this situation. I'm not sure what he was thinking, other than maybe he doesn't believe in his defense at all anymore. That he just says, I've got to go for it in this situation. But his meeting, the head coach's meeting with the GM and the owner, that's going to be an interesting one, because he's after
touchdown.
George Pickens
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it was fair to look back and say the 4th down was a moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they went for it. But, hey, a lot of credit to the guys on the defensive side of the ball. They knew they'd have to defend in that situation, and they got it done.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw.
Able to find Jones.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. He's back to throw.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reeves. And he spikes it here with 35 seconds left.
Second and 10. Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Back to throw. Miles. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
On first down, Kruger. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Steelers who will have the first chance to go down and score here in overtime as we are back underway. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen? Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And that's incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
On 4th down, Kruger. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Here's 2nd and 10.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates. All my balls on Rubik's Cube.